So let's talk about the birth of the physical first of all, and then we'll talk about how these other bodies form. Maybe we should go back one step further. Where do we come from? What happens before we are born? Okay, science doesn't go there. They can take a picture of the fetus in the womb. But what would it be like? I want you to use your imagination, your feeling, your heart. You're suspended in this liquid environment. You've got a direct feeding tube to your mum. Your senses are not really working. What would it be like? You're kind of connected to everything. Your physical body is probably not so relevant yet. Perhaps the physical body, we can say, is just everywhere. I'm part of the whole cosmic body. So we try and imagine, we use the science of our own imagination and feeling and heart wisdom, what it's like before we're born. And then suddenly, oh, here we are in a physical body, and my God, it's such a shock. Suddenly, light, our senses are overwhelmed, we feel cold, the tube has been cut. For the first time we're feeling hunger. Oh my gosh, how am I going to survive? My tummy is empty, and with incredible will, the child needs to move its head, it needs to move its mouth and latch on to food. Incredible will to survive in those first few moments. And this will continues for the next 7 years, particularly in the first few weeks and months. Nature doesn't give children everything. Nature gives children the will forces. The children have to find those will forces from within, not consciously. They have to find it from within themselves. What is this thing here? Oh my gosh, it's my hand. I realize I can move this hand. It must belong to me. What can it do? Oh my gosh, I can make it go like this. I can pick something up. I can put it in my mouth. I can discover more about the world. So much will involved in working out this body. And all I can see is the ceiling above me. That's where my mum put me. And then she turns me over, and all I can see is the bed below me. And with great will, eventually I can work out how to get from here to here and back again. So much will involved. And then one day you realize that you're not stuck in one space. You can actually manipulate space through crawling. Can you imagine how much will we needed to do that? Standing up, saying your first words. And the will gets more fine-tuned. Once we can walk, we want to climb that tree, we want to play, we want to discover our limbs. And then it becomes even more fine-tuned into our imagination. We can turn this wooden block into a car, into a rocket. Will in thinking. You can turn it into a mobile phone. It's just a wooden block, so incredible will. And we don't give a child a formed toy already. We allow it to cultivate its own will in imagination and thinking. Just in the same way we don't pull it up and say, come on, move your legs, I want you to walk faster. We allow the child to develop its own will so it can be proud of itself that it can walk. Great. So the other thing we can say about these will years is that this etheric, this life force, as I said, it's all around the child. It hasn't fully come into the child yet. It's really, really important that the child grows up in a world that is full of etheric life forces. And if your children are growing up in Bali, it's easy But imagine if your child grew up in a concrete box in a sterile city. Where is the life? Where is the life forces? In Bali, it's just everywhere. It's teeming with life. Children grow up a lot healthier with a much better head start if they can be filled with all the life forces around them. And everything they touch, whether it's the leaf or they're going fishing here, or everything they see is so full of life. It's amazing. We don't need to give them Lego. We don't need to give them a screen, a lie, what do you call it? Another version of reality, because reality is full of life all around them. They're also absorbing life forces from the adults that are around them. So we need to give them good examples of the adults around them. Are you a good example as a parent? Or whoever is spending most time with your child, the kindy teachers, are they great examples, full of creative, life-filled imaginations and energy? The etheric body is also the place where we keep our thinking. And there's two kinds of thinking, we can say. There's this incredibly imaginative, creative thinking where we're open to all kinds of possibilities. And there's the other kind of thinking where the world is already fixed and formed and information and data. We can teach our children that kind of thinking. You should go down the road to another school and they will tell you this is how the world is. There'll be a test on it tomorrow, learn it. No possibility, it's frozen knowledge. So if you're the kind of parent who is not fixed in their thinking, who is open to possibilities and creativity, then you're giving the child the necessary life forces in their thinking as well. They absorb your thoughts like a sponge. Probably realized that already. And there comes a time where the child has absorbed sufficient etheric life forces where they can start to form their own memories. Their thinking can start to become absorbed into their life force. They can also start to regulate their own life body. They might know when they're tired, for example, when they're feeling sick. Whereas before 7 years, you have to tell them when they're tired and you have to put them to bed. They don't often know when they're sick. They just, one day they're fine and next minute, blah, they're vomiting all over the place. They don't even know that they're sick. So they get more of a sense of their own life force around here. And one of the signs that we can tell that they've developed their own etheric body is that they push out their second set of teeth. The first set of teeth is given by nature, by hereditary, by the parents. And the second set of teeth, we say, is their own set of teeth from their own life body. And of course, the will has gone from will in the body to actually having the willpower to sit still in the classroom and open your ears up to the teacher. There's so many noises around here, you know. Child gets distracted by the rooster, by the workers, by class 2s playing the recorder. So many will forces are required to just filter everything out, and I'm going to put my ears on my teacher. That requires great will. So the will has become more subtle and we're ready for learning here.